The past, the present, the future. This is Friday Night's Fright. What the planet is listening to.
Hello everyone, this is yours, everyone's, and especially Universe's favourite host of horror-themed paraphernalia and movies. This is Ian Austin of Friday Night Fright fame. After my rather spiffing episode last week, episode 38, Wretch, which I'm very proud of, and I think New Instruction's best thing this podcast has ever done, which is particularly good because that instruction's not done by me. That's fine. It's all good. But I think that's a particular high mark for episodes. I wasn't quite sure how it would be received, but people seem to be enjoying it as far as I know. This isn't obviously a very communicative podcast in terms of responses, but no one's angry at me, so that's fine. Except for one person I've blocked, but, you know, what can you do? Anyway, today's episode is going to be on ghost stories, which for the purposes of transparency, I have seen the movie twice before, and I think it's fair to say I liked it more the second time. I saw a premiere, Odeon Limp premiere thing first time, you know, one of those Screamo scenes, and I enjoyed it, but I was a bit, you know, not terribly impressed, and saw it again recently, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm going to watch it a third time to see if it matches up to the third viewing test. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'll be back after a brief word from my sponsor. Hello everyone, this is Ian Austin, Friday Night Fright, back again. After my introductions, I've introduced myself twice. Don't know why I did that, but that's fine. And hey, yep, time to discuss ghost stories, which I'm going to be doing a little preamble here. I'm not doing a recap for this movie because I feel ghost stories, one of its strengths is not knowing what's going to happen and then being able to watch it and uncover the mysteries and things like that. So for me, recap it, I don't think that's particularly fair. So for the recap section, I would be recapping another terrible horror movie. But I'm going to keep that surprise until I get to that point. But for ghost stories, I'm going to be talking about it in as much a general sense as possible, because like I say, I don't want to reveal too much of secrets. I feel like the work put in by writers and directors of this movie deserve to be appreciated. As a first watch, I'm going to be skirting the edges of the movie by talking about some of the acting, some of the performances, the shot composition and things like that. So it's going to be a more general view than usual. I think the first thing to start off with is by saying that it's a really intricate movie. It's 3 stories. 4 stories even. It's got the 3 cases that the guy uncovers and then got the overall story. And I think it's really intricate and really intriguing how they did that. It's obviously based on stage play, but I can't imagine stage play being that similar to the movie. Maybe I love the story beats, but in terms of composition, things like that, the movie is quite visual in terms of locations and shifting, things like that, which is actually interesting because you see a lot of movies like something like Mamma Mia, which becomes a movie but isn't particularly cinematic despite filming in these beautiful vistas and locations. It doesn't feel like it's a particularly well shot movie. Whereas something like Ghost Stories feels like they took advantage of cinema a lot more, which was very cool. So I'm just going to have a drink of water. I got a really bad fucking headache today, so... And that's what Ghost Stories does not give you. It doesn't give you a headache. You have a headache before you start watching, and then a headache comes back with vengeance. Oh, that's good. So I feel like to discuss Ghost Stories, one first has to discuss the sort of movie it is. This isn't a jump scare horror movie, although there are jump scares. It's trying something a little more intricate. There are some slightly broader aspects to it, but the centre of the story is... dealing with trauma and the idea of a ghost real, is paranormal investigations real? And obviously my answer to that would be no, they're not. It's all made up shit. But the movie tries to play it a bit differently by using that as its focus. What is real? You know, is what we believe real? Is what we see real? Or is it what we choose to see? And that's quite a cool dynamic go on, because lots of horror movies try to play up the ambiguity, don't do a particularly good job of it, whereas this movie does a very good job of playing up, you know, that sort of sense of reality. It's also a very well structured movie. It's hour 38 minutes, which I appreciate. Just go over the gist of what movie is. The basic synopsis is Professor Philip Goodman devotes his life to exposing phony psychics and fraudulent supernatural shenanigans. His skepticism soon gets put to test when he receives news of three chilling and inexplicable cases: disturbing visions in an abandoned asylum, a car accident deep in woods, and the spirit of an unborn child. Even scarier, each of Macabre's stories seems to have a sinister connection to the Professor's own life. And that's a nice twist, because it's a bit like I was saying a few minutes ago, or a few seconds ago even. It's three stories telling a fourth story. Each story informs our perception of what's going on in Philip's life, building up to a nice credenza, which is very cool. I will say one thing I find about movies that makes it a little difficult to review is that when you're watching something like this, you need to watch it a couple of times to really understand it. Because there are lots of moments in the movie which pay off other moments, but only realise them in retrospect. But at the same time, not something like Sixth Sense. I've always found with Sixth Sense, the Sixth Sense, I tried getting out, it didn't really work. I always found that movie, I can't really rewatch it. The reason I can't rewatch it is I know it builds up to that final moment, that really moment crystallises into our movie. But I feel like once you know that moment, the movie doesn't really have anything to offer past that point. Ghost Stories works differently because I feel like it's well constructed enough that you can go back and watch it again after knowing how it ends, and it actually informs you a bit more. You know, it's not just about twist, it's a well constructed movie regardless of that. You know, it does a good job the scares and jump scares and shit like that. And I think a lot of that's anchored by Andy Nyman as Professor Goodman, who obviously co-wrote and directed the movie, which is a really good, really tight performance, and also quite powerful and tragic to watch because it deals with a lot of harsh themes from the 80s, and also has an undercurrent of perceived discrimination towards his character for being Jewish. And I feel like that sort of performance and that sort of harsh reality has given it an elevation above certain other horror movies which don't tend to look at those aspects in quite the same regard. I also feel that special praise needs to be given to Paul Whitehouse, who, I mean, we all know Paul Whitehouse is a very funny human being, but he's an incredible actor at the same time. The amount of range he has for accents and things like that. And putting him in horror movies is quite an interesting regard because his section, part of it's quite talky. We obviously get the flashbacks, which add a bit of depth to it, but his section starts off with a lot of talking, and he's very good at accentuating human behaviour and putting it out there. And he does a really good job here, taking character who in some hands could be a bit of not stereotype's the wrong word. Stereotype's definitely the wrong word, but it's like, yeah, sorry, I know I keep stumbling over my words a bit, but yeah, stereotype's definitely the wrong word, but he's a bit of a xenophobe, bit of a slight racist, in some regards it was a terrible characteristics, but Paul Whitehouse plays this character of Tony with a very matter-of-factness, like, this is who I am, you know. And as for a good bit of conflict, he's clearly not particularly enamoured by Professor Goodman, but he does a really good job taking the sense of language and doing a really interesting job with that. Alex Lawford plays the student, and I give him particular props. He's a very, very good actor. He's going to have a huge future. He's been in a lot of interesting, weird shows over years. What's that one? Oh yeah, The End of the Fucking Weird, where he's unbelievable in that. And he was in season 3 of Black Mirror, Shut Up and Dance as Kenny, which is another amazing performance. I mean, it's very difficult sort of acting to do playing these quite unlikable characters. I'm interested to see stage play of this, actually, because it gets really good reviews, and it'd be interesting to see how it differs to the actual movie. I find that shots composition of this movie, I find that quite interesting too. They like their wide open vistas. It's trying to take horror out of the cramped enclosed spaces. All of these areas they use here, except for the warehouse and the Paul Whitehouse's character is a sort of landman at. They use quite wide open vistas, taking advantage of the freedom that cinema gives them. You know, obviously on stage you're not restricted, your imagination can play a key part, but you sort of have what you have and don't really have the option to just go, being Mill Woods and will actually feel like Mill Woods, I know the acting on stage can make up for a lot of the shortcomings in terms of locational variance, but at the same time, it's nice to actually see the woods, I think the movie plays tricks on you quite a bit, but I enjoy that because I feel like we're being tricked as much as Professor Goodman's being tricked. It's one of the recurring lines of movies: the brain sees mind sees what it wants to see. In that regard, it could be true because there's a lot of first time watch this, there's a lot of clues I didn't pick up on as I was going through, and now that you found out what the truth is and believing truth, you can actually pick up on those clues. So yeah, I would say this is a really good horror movie. Very atmospheric, very tense, very well acted. You can't underestimate that. And also very weird because it's messing with your head, but in a very subtle way. A lot of horror is like a sledgehammer to the face, and ghost stories seem to be much different to that. Instead of being sledgehammer to the face, it's more like a gentle knock back of the head, So not really very much like a donkey punch, I don't know where that comparison came from, but yeah, I won't spoil Ghost Stories, but definitely go and watch it because it's a really good horror movie. In this day and age, that's really rare, to be honest, isn't it? If we're being completely upfront with ourselves. But you can trust old Ian. I recommended Wretch last week, and that's a fantastic horror movie, so there you go. So that's my review of Ghost Stories. I'll be doing Halftime Handball. We come back in just a few seconds, and then after that I would be doing a recap of a horror movie. I'll be finding the silliest horror movie I can on something like Wikipedia or something like that, and I'll do a mini recap of that. So that'll be along in a few minutes. And now it's time for Halftime Handball. Previously on Halftime Handball, do you know Hannibal Lecter's evil? He's a cannibal, he eats people, he's a serial killer. He dresses smart, he's very European, he's very debonair, he's very dashing. Could he be evil? Mr. Graham thinks he might be, but Lawrence Fishburne isn't so sure. Lawrence Fishburne's posing as a police officer named Jack Crawford. Jack Crawford's wife may or may not have cancer. Does she? Who knows? I can't remember. It's been months since I've watched an episode. And what about crime scene guys? What about cats and dogs? The cats and dogs. What's going on with them? They can make more quips? Who knows? They might do, they might not. And what about Abigail? Abigail Bloom. She's a psychiatrist. Will she investigate Hannibal Lecter? Could she uncover his psyche? Would she want to? And what about that Hannibal Lecter? I've seen that face before. I think he was in Doctor Strange. I think he was in Rogue One. I think he might have even been in James Bond Casino Royale. Who knows? Le Chiffre knows. But what about that episode? What about that person who's murdered and eaten? There's a lot of cannibals in the area this show takes place in. That seems strange. Is it something we need to know from Brian Fuller? He's a man great at pushing daisies. Pushing daisies? Daisies pushing? It's a metaphor for death. Hannibal's about death. It's a meaningful program. There's a lot of slow motion. My favourite part is when Hannibal cooks. Because he's cooking human meat. That's the joke. That's the joke. That's the joke. Hannibal is a serial killer. He's a cannibal. Hannibal the cannibal. And just like that, another episode's over. And it's not Abigail, it's Alana Bloom. Abigail's the kid Hannibal's befriended. He convinced her father to become a full-blown serial killer. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Lawrence Fishburne knew. Lawrence Fishburne knows everything. He's a Baskin Robbins of humans. And we're until next week, this has been Halftime Handball. And remember, previously on Handball, Hannibal was a cannibal. I'll see you next week. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the return of Halftime Handball. I know I did. I'm totally not recording this section before I actually start watching Halftime Handball. And I know for a fact that will be definitely be the episode and won't possibly be preempted, making this section look completely pointless. So I think do something a bit different. I feel like on Friday Night Fright we record a lot of reviews and recaps of horror movies, but I think sometimes I forget that a lot of times horror movies aren't necessarily the thing which I'm most terrified by. I am, as a man in my early mid-30s, delete as appropriate, what horrifies me most is romantic comedies. They are infrequently terrifying and frequently terrifying. And I figure, hey, why not do a recap for lovely romantic comedy which I deem a horror movie? And so, firstly, why not do one based on seemingly everyone's favourite romantic comedy / horror movie, Love Actually? So in about 10 seconds I'm going to spoil the whole of Love Actually for you, my snideness. So you've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you're still listening, you are about to get spoiled. Love Actually begins with voiceover from David (Hugh Grant) commenting that whenever he gets gloomy about the state of the way he thinks about the arrival terminal at Heathrow Airport, what the fuck? And pure uncomplicated love affair with friends and families when their arriving loved ones, full stop. David's voiceover also relates all messages left by people who died on 911 planes were messages of love and not hate, full stop. I think that it's a little awkward, even in retrospect, okay? The film then tells the love stories of many people, like Billy, Mac and Joe, with the help of his longtime manager Joe, Gregor Fisher, rock and roll legend Billy Mac, Bill Nighy, records a Christmas variation of the Trogs' Love Is All Around, full stop. Although he thinks the record is terrible, and it is, Mac promotes the release and hope it will become Christmas #1 single, which it does, full stop. After briefly celebrating his victory at a party hosted by Sarah and John, Billy learns that Joe is in need of affection and suggests that he and Joe celebrate Christmas by getting drunk and watching porn, full stop. Okay, for transparency, I actually do quite like Love Actually, but that's fucking weird to read. It's a lot weirder to read than Actuality, than actually to watch. Plus, that's by far the best section of the movie, and it sounds like shit to read out loud, so that's not a good sign. Anyway, oh god, here we go. Juliet, Peter and Mark. Oh Jesus, this one. Juliet, Keira Knightley, and Peter's, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and marriage is videotaped by best man, Mark, Andrew Lincoln, full stop. Although both Juliet and Peter believe that Mark dislikes Juliet, he's actually in love with her, full stop. This is so awkward. When Mark invades Juliet's requests the video made at wedding, Juliet visits Mark, full stop. She says she wants them to be friends and, when she finds and views the wedding video, it turns out to be just storing close-ups of her, full stop. After an uncomfortable silence, Mark blurts out that he snubs her out of safe preservation, full stop. On Christmas Eve, Juliet answers the door to find Mark carrying a boombox, playing Christmas songs and large cue cards, and which is written without expectation for reciprocation. He loves her. As he walks away, Juliet runs after him, giving him a quick kiss before she returns inside. That's still weird even now. I remember at the time I watched that and I was like, that's fucking creepy as shit. And I'm a weird guy. I have no luck with female sex. I'm fucking useless. That's still fucking creepy to me. So God knows what it comes across as people are borderline competent. And also so weird, like, I get that Mark fancies her, but why the fuck would all of your videos be close-ups of her unless you were going back to, oh no, it's porn, isn't it? He's wanking off to close-ups of her face and her wedding dress. Dude, look, I'm a weird guy. Even I fucking wouldn't do that. Jesus Christ. Jamie and Aurelia. Writer Jamie, Colin Firth, is pushed by his gay friend, Sienna Gallery, to attend Juliet and Peter's wedding alone, as she feigns illness, full stop. He returns between ceremony and reception to check on her, and discovers that she's having an affair with his brother. What the fuck? Crushed, Jamie withdraws to a French cottage, where he meets Portuguese housekeeper Aurelia, Lucia Muniz, who's not speak English. Oh, that's a good start. Full stop. Despite their inability to communicate, which is a pretty fucking big thing that you need in a relationship. comma, they become attracted to each other. Oh, I bet they fucking do. They just know they're attracted to each other, full stop. When Jamie returns to England, comma, he realises he's in love with Aurelia and begins learning Portuguese, full stop. How is he in love with her if they never actually have a fucking conversation? He returns to France to find her and ends up walking through town, comma, gathering people as they walk to a job at a restaurant, full stop. In broken Portuguese, he declares his love for her and proposes, full stop. She says yes, comma, in broken English, comma, as crowd erupts in applause. Why are they applauding? It's literally the first conversation these two have ever had, and crowd's like very good, very good, very good. It's not just because you want to get fucked. I mean, he's not even divorced yet. Literally not divorced. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, fuck, here we go. Harry, comma, Karen and Mia. Harry, brackets, Alan Rickman, is the managing director of a design agency. Mia, Heike Makash, is his new secretary. Also, incidentally, in the movie, it's clear she's not his new secretary. Harry's comfortably married to his wife, comma, Karen, brackets, M. Thompson, comma, who stays home and raises their kids. Harry, full stop. Harry becomes increasingly aroused by Mia's overtly sexual behaviour at the office and does nothing to dissuade her. Full stop. At a company Christmas party held at Mark's gallery, comma, he not only inquires if Mark is her boyfriend, comma, but also dances closely with her. Full stop. While at shops, comma, he calls Mia to find out what she wants for Christmas and ends up almost caught by his wife purchasing an expensive necklace from the jewellery department thanks to salesman Rowan Atkinson. Full stop. Later on, comma, Karen discovers the necklace in Harry's coat pocket and happily assumes it is a gift for her, full stop. When she finds the similarly shaped box under the tree to open on Christmas Eve, comma, she is heartbroken and finds it's a Joni Mitchell CD, comma, meaning that the necklace was someone else, full stop. Doesn't necessarily mean that. It could be a gift for later for you. She confronts Harry and asks him what he'd do if he were her, full stop. She says that he has made mockery of their marriage and of her. Joke aside, this section does actually have an incredible scene where Emma Thompson has a breakdown. She's an amazing actress. But it's also really fucking stupid. And now back to something even more fucking stupid. David and Natalie, Karen's brother, comma, David, brackets, Hugh Grant, comma, is the recently elected Prime Minister, full stop. Natalie, brackets, Martine McCutcheon, is a new junior member of household staff at 10 Downing Street. Full stop. During a meeting with the nurse president, Billy Bob Thornton, of fucking course it is, comma, they rung in Natalie and President made some inappropriate comments to David about Natalie's body, full stop. What the fuck is this? Later, comma, David walks in on Natalie serving tea and biscuits to President, comma, and it appears that something untoward's happening, full stop. Oh no, not something untoward. Natalie seems ashamed, comma, but President has a slight grin on his face, full stop. Following joint press conference, comma, David's uncharacteristically assertive while taking a stand against President's intimidating policies, full stop. That is such complete and utter bollocks. I'm sorry, that's fucking ludicrous. Finding his relationship with Natalie has become strained and distraction, comma, David has moved to another job, full stop. That is sexual harassment. However, comma, he's spurred to action on Christmas Eve when he finds a Christmas card from Natalie declaring that she is his and knowing this is full stop. This is so weird. After a door-to-door search of street, comma, he comes across Mia, comma, who informs him that Natalie lives next door. Fucking course she does. Full stop. The entire family is on their way to multi-school Christmas play. He offers to drive them so he can talk to her, full stop. After Natalie sneaks him into school, comma, he runs into a heartbroken sister who believes he's there for his niece and nephew. Oh, he's Karen's brother, by the way. Full stop. As two try to keep from being seen what's shown from backstage, comma, they finally kiss. David and Natalie kiss. David doesn't kiss his sister, alright? David and Natalie kiss. Full stop. All hiding's for nothing, comma, however, comma, as curtain rises and they're seen kissing by everyone, full stop. That'd be a fucking scandal instantly. Daniel, comma, Sam, comma, Joanna and Carol. Daniel, brackets, Liam Neeson, comma, Karen's friend, comma, mourns the recent death of his wife, comma, Joanna, as he tries to raise his stepson Sam, brackets, Thomas Sangster, alone. It should be noted that Daniel doesn't walk the streets threatening to kill people of different races because he believes that they've raped someone in his past. That's not what Daniel does. Sam has fallen from... Well, the movie doesn't say he does. Maybe he does, I don't know. Sam has fallen from American... Liam Neeson's going to be so angry if he listens to this. Sam has fallen from American classmate, comma, also named Joanna, brackets Olivia Olson. That's really weird. Why is he interesting a woman named the same with same names as my old dear God, this movie's going weird. Brackets, comma, even, and comma, after discussing with his stepfather, comma, decides to learn drum singing and accompany her in big finale for the school's Christmas pageant. Brackets, the same one that David's niece and nephew / Karen and Harry's children were in, end brackets. Wait a second, the movie doesn't say he's a stepfather. I thought he's just a distant father. I don't even give a shit. Why am I discussing this? After Sam feels he missed his chance to make an impression on her, comma, Daniel convinces Sam he must go catch Joanna, comma, who've turned into US, comma, at the airport that night and show how he feels, comma, lest he regret it. Isn't maybe Christmas Day at this point? So, Sam runs away from the airport security and says hi, Joanna, comma, and then kisses him on the cheek, full stop. Meanwhile, comma, Daniel meets Claudia Schiffer, comma, a mother of one of Sam's schoolmates. This is fucking ludicrous. Okay, Sarah, comma, Carl and Michael. Sarah Laura Lingy, brackets, first appears at Juliet and Peter's wedding, comma, sitting next to her friend Jamie. She's an American, works at Harry's graphic design company and been in love for years with the company's creative director, comma, Carl, brackets, Rodrigo Santoro. They finally connect at the film's Christmas party and he drives her home. They're going to fuck, aren't they? They kiss, comma, but before they can fuck, comma, they're interrupted by her mentally ill brother, comma, Michael, comma, phone from a mental care facility. Full stop. Sarah and Cole's chance at fucking's aborted. Aborted's not the right word to use, Wikipedia. Come on. And Cole leaves, full stop. Both are working late on Christmas Eve, and when Cole leaves, comma, he just wishes her a Merry Christmas, full stop. Michael phones Sarah and she goes stare at him, comma, sharing her Christmas scarf. What a load of bollocks. Here we go, more bollocks. Colin, comma, Tony and the Americans. After unsuccessfully attempting to woo various English women, comma, including Mia and Nancy, brackets Julia Davis, comma, the caterer at Juliet and Peter's wedding, comma, Colin Frissell, brackets Chris Marshall, informs his friend Tony Abdul Salis that he plans to go to America, comma, convinced his Britishness will be an asset for some. Landing in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, comma, Colin meets Stacy Ivana Milekovich, Jeannie January Jones, and Karen Alicia Cuthbert, comma, three stunningly attractive women who fall for his Esther the English, invite him to stay at their home, comma, where they fuck him a lot, and then they're joined by the roommate Harriet, brackets Shannon Elizabeth, who walks in, they're all fucking Colin at the same time. I don't really understand what this is at this point. John and Judy. John Martin Freeman and Judy Joanne Page are professional body doubles for films, full stop. They meet for the set scenes in film for which Tony is a production assistant, full stop. John tells Judy that it's nice to have someone you just chat to. While they're perfectly comfortable being naked and simulating sex on screen, comma, they're showing tentative off set, full stop. Carefully pursuing a relationship, they attend Christmas pageant involving, brackets, involve David and Natalie, comma, Harry and Karen's children, comma, Sam and Daniel Adale, brackets, at local school for John's brother. What if one of the parents recognises to him, like, you're fucking sick, you know? Fucking Rowan Atkinson is jewellery salesman, comma, whose obsessive attention gift wrapping nearly results in Harry being caught by a necklace from Mia by Karen. Full stop. Also, comma, it's his distraction with staff at the airport, which allows Sam to sneak through to see Joanne, full stop. Wouldn't he be arrested for that? In direct and cast commentary, it's revealed that Rufus was originally supposed to be a Christmas angel. However, this was dropped from final script. What the fuck was he doing in the movie then? Random as fuck. Epilogue. 1 month later, comma, all the characters seen in Heathrow Airport, full stop, as you do. Billy Toast Jonas' Christmas single is spurred to comeback, full stop. Juliet, comma, Peter, comma, and Mark meet Jamie and his bride, Aurelia. Karen and kids greet Harry, comma, but Karen's reaction suggests they're struggling to move past his attempts to fuck his secretary. Sam greets Joanna, who's returned with her mother from America, comma, and Daniel's joined by his new girlfriend Claudia Schiffer and her son, full stop. Newlyweds John and Judy, comma, heading off to their honeymoon, comma, running Tony, comma, who's waiting Collins, who returns from America, full stop. Colin returns with Harriet and his sister Denise Richards. What the fuck? Comma, who greets Tony with a hug and kiss. Cool stuff. Natalie welcomes David back from his flight. Where the fuck will he fly to in view of press comma? Indicating their relationship's now public, full stop. He sees to evolve into footage of actual rivals at Heathrow, commas, screens fight into an increasing number of small segments which form the shape of a heart. I don't know about you, but that movie scares the shit out of me. And also, they cut the subplot which concerned a kids teacher, brackets Anna Reid, and her dying lesbian partner Francis Law, because why should lesbians be featured in a movie about love at Christmas? Why should they be featured? A bunch of white people doing white people things, and Colin Firth getting off with a Portuguese woman who he falls in love with despite never having conversation with them, and Chris Marshall going fucking America and fucking 3 American women at the same time, so the 4th one walks in and starts fucking her at the same time, and then comes back with her sister Denise Richards to England and says, "Oi, Tony, my son, you can be with Denise Richards. She's a fucking scientist in fucking Bond. In fucking the wave is not enough. She's a scientist. She was a scientist. She and Bond came at Christmas. He came at Christmas in a scientist, and fucking Daniel, fucking Liam Neeson, who in this movie was not walking the streets with a vengeance or getting revenge for his daughter or his ex-wife who he didn't love, but he secretly loved, and she loved him. She didn't love the other guy. She fucking loved him. He's not doing anything for that shit. No, his wife died. His stepson, who might be his actual son, no. Liam Neeson, no. He got together with Claudia Schiffer, and she has a kid. And Martin Freeman, fucking Watson was a porn actor. He was a stunt cock. Watson was a stunt cock. Fucking Alan Rickman, who died for us things. Alan Rickman died for us things. Couldn't make it work for Emma Thompson. He couldn't do it. And Rowan Atkinson might be an angel. And fucking Laura Linney did not get any sets. I am terrified, but I think it's time for me to sign off. So until next time, remember, life is beautiful.